This video from Casio Help, we're taking a look at the out-the-box setup and initialisation of the SR-C4500 register. To do the initialisation and setup of the machine, you'll need obviously the till itself, you'll need the quick start guide, 2 thermal paper till rolls, 2 memory protection batteries, these are AA batteries, and you'll also need the PGM key as well. So first of all, if we pop all these bits and bobs to one side, make sure you've got the batteries, the till rolls and the PGM key to hand. As part of the initialisation, I'm also going to set the machine up so that it's paired with a smartphone via the Bluetooth. You don't have to do this and you can just skip it, but if you are planning on doing this, you'll obviously have to have your smartphone to hand, and you'll have to have set up, downloaded and installed the ECR Plus app, but we'll have a closer look at that when I get to that point. So if we follow the quick start guide, first thing it tells us to do is to set the memory protection batteries. So to do this, you lift off the printer cover, gently lift up the receipt platen arm here, remove the preloaded paper, and then your batteries, there's a little compartment cover under where the till roll sits, and you just load the batteries in there. The batteries don't power the machine, but they act as a memory protection backup, so if the till loses power, they're what keeps your sales and programming data for a limited period of time. So it's recommended that you should change the batteries at least once a year, but you will get a low battery warning on the machine as well. So if we go back to the quick start guide, the next thing to do is to load the receipt paper. So on the 4500 you've got 2 printers. The left hand side one is for receipt issuance. Both printers are thermal paper, 58mm. If it's thermal till roll paper, the paper has a thermal heat sensitive side and a dull side. You have to load it like this so that the shiny thermal side is facing down and coming into contact with the thermal print head. So if we refer back to the quick start guide again, step 3 is loading the journal paper. So again, it's the same till roll. Lift up the platen arm, remove the paper that's in the way, and then load the paper exactly the same at this point. But what you want to do, because it's the journal roll, you want to feed a bit of paper through, a bit of extra paper, so that when you've closed the platen arm back over, you've got paper to then feed onto the spool at the back of the machine. So we lift up the spool. It can be a bit fiddly, but basically the paper needs to go through the 2 slots on the central spindle of the spool. So obviously the spool is there, it's an audit roll really, I guess people would call it. So it copies every single transaction. So if you do a refund, a no sale, programming, a report, cancel sale, log in, log out, everything is recorded on your journal roll. Drop that into place. And then now we can actually put the printer cover back on because we're done with the till rolls and batteries. Okay, so now we're ready for step 4, which is to turn the cash register on. We just release the cable, the power cable. Put that into the mains. Just before we do that, we'll just pop the PGM key in and have it in the off position. And then plug the machine into the mains, and most of the rest of what happens is kind of automated by the till, or so you're prompted as to what to do, so it's fairly self-explanatory. So language selection depends where you are. I'm English UK, so that's already highlighted, so I press the CA amount 10 button. When you're in the setup and programming of the register, your CA amount 10 is kind of like a enter or return button on a register. So you'll find yourself using that quite a lot. You basically press that to confirm the language you want set up. You're then prompted to enter the date, month, year and time. So we are 27th of June, 27 for the day, 06 for the month, and then the last 2 digits of the year. And then you enter the time. and then once you've entered the date time correctly, you press CA amount 10 to confirm, and the till will perform the initialisation. If you've got the date and time wrong or you didn't fill it in, don't worry about it. It's easy to change it later. The next thing I think it will prompt us to do is tax rates, and again, if you don't want to do the tax rates now, you can skip it, and it's easy to set up later. However, if you're sure that you're going to program tax on the till, and you know what the rates are that you want to set up, then it makes sense to enter it now. So I'm in the UK, I'm a VAT Inc. business, well, my till's going to be for a VAT Inc. business, so I'm going to set up tax rate 1 as 20, arrow down to tax 2, and I'm having that at 5%, and I'll leave the others at 0. Obviously be aware that you're responsible for entering your tax correctly and to suit your region. So you now get the option for connecting via the Bluetooth. If you don't want to do this at all, then just arrow down using this button to no, and then press CA amount 10, and I think you're then pretty much done and ready to use the till. If you do want to set up the Bluetooth, you don't have to do it now, you can do it later, but it kind of makes sense to do it now. So I'm just going to pop my phone there. You can see I've already installed the app, so I've got the Casio ECR Plus app on the phone. So I press CA amount 10 to say I want to set it up. The key thing first of all is to go into the Bluetooth on the phone. Obviously how you do that will depend on your particular device. So I've got Bluetooth switched on, and then what should happen is the phone should find the register, or someone could call you halfway through the video. We'll just let that ring off. You wouldn't believe that, no one ever rings me, especially when I'm at work, and so it's obviously one of those PPI claims or someone trying to sell me something that I don't want. There we go, the phone call's gone. So yeah, the Bluetooth, providing no one bothers you, we go back into it, it should start searching. Bluetooth on, it will start searching here. Obviously the layout will depend on your phone, and the key thing you're looking for is the display here has got the serial number of the register, and that's what the phone should find. So when you get the same serial number there, so it's ending 0507, press it on your phone, and then the till will give you a pass key to allow the pairing to happen. So you simply enter that. Press OK, you get a beep and then a printout confirming that the Bluetooth's enabled, and that's basically it. That's the register initialised. You've set up the date time, you've set up your tax rates, and you've also paired your app with the device as well. So you can now either turn the key to the reg mode to start selling, or probably more likely turn it to the PGM mode for your programming. We'll have plenty of different videos appearing now, so I've got some showing you how to program the till via the app, and I've got others if you want to program the till in the old school way of doing it in the programming settings. So you can check those out. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel as well, or you can visit casiohelp.co.uk for more. Thanks for watching.